Now, you've also coached at some pretty high levels. I know you've coached ODP, you've coached some varsity high school teams, and obviously played at the college level. So you've kind of seen all sides of the spectrum. And as you get into the more talented levels, the intangibles become very important. So your mindset, your mental toughness, if you will, becomes a big part of success. Can you talk a little bit more about these components and what you've seen in successful players over the years?
Oh yeah, 100%. I would say coachability. Um, you know, just the willingness to take on a challenge mentally shows so much to a coach. I work with currently with Wisconsin ODP. I work with the youngest age group that, well, not the youngest, but the youngest 11 side, which is U13. And typically those girls, I've worked with them the last 4 years in Wisconsin and a year in Illinois prior to coming here with Illinois ODP. And you see a lot of the same thing where they're just starting to gain that confidence of having a voice and feeling confident in saying something on the field to their teammates. But what I look for in a lot of those players is if I tell them something, how do they take that information? And with ODP too, we try to challenge players by playing them in different positions. And if they're a fantastic forward, we try to put them in the center midfield spot and see what they do with 360 space, and how do they adapt to that challenge, take on that challenge. But coachability is huge, and I know that's at every level, because I mean, you want to discuss a little bit about position versatility. And you look at, personally in high school, I started out as forward and then got pushed back to defense, and then in college played mid and then defense. And so you have to be willing to take on whatever your team needs, whatever your coach sees in you, if you want to play. And but taking on that, taking off that mental block and saying, yeah, I'm going to figure this out, I'm going to work my hardest, is invaluable on any team. And yeah, I would say that. Did I answer your question? I kind of rambled a bit.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think, like you said, I mean, these are the things you can't coach, right? You kind of have to have an open mind and accept failure. I feel like at the highest levels, you're going to fail more because you're in positions more to fail. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're able to accept that and ultimately become a better player from those failures, I think that's what makes a player really successful long term. So yes, you did answer it very well. I appreciate that.
Yeah, well, like kids are going to peak at different times. I mean, The Last Dance is really popular right now. The series on ESPN about
Oh
Michael
yeah,
Jordan.
Chicago
And
guy, gotta
yeah,
show some love there.
of course. Well, his story. He got cut his freshman year of high school or something, and you just don't know when an athlete's it's gonna click for them, or it's gonna all work. Your body is going through changes through puberty and everything. It's for those who peak really young and they get it, and then they go through puberty and then they're all out of sorts. There's just different times when it clicks for players, and when they get it, and when their body is lined up with what their technical abilities are and what they've developed. And so I think those things will come, with dedication, with practice, with self-discipline. But the mental aspect is something that you have to really pull from within. And that's, like I mentioned, that work ethic, that coachability, that idea that I'm going to take on a challenge. And that's what I think that a lot of coaches that I've worked with at the highest levels look for, is that difference maker in a player's. If I challenge them here, how are they gonna respond? That's one of the biggest factors I see.
Definitely, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.